We gotta talk about something that's pretty embarrassing. I mean, I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. So essentially, SoFaygo's on tour with Nav, right? We know this. I would say in the beginning, like, I don't know what the benefit of that is to go on tour with Nav, because it's like the demographics don't really line up. Like, who's listening to Nav is going to be a fan of SoFaygo, or who is a fan of Nav that would be a fan of SoFaygo? I feel like that's the Toronto sound. It's like much different. It's very like robotic or you know what I'm saying? Like standardized, if you will. I've been using that in corporate speak a lot. Whereas SoFaygo's like up and coming, kind of a new flavor. Pause. Now, he was on tour with Nav. I think this is in Toronto, but this happened in a couple other cities that people were sending me videos. It just wasn't like the angles weren't, it wasn't really showing it justice or doing it justice, in that the crowd just is not hyped for SoFaygo. And I don't think it's his fault necessarily. Like, just watch this clip first. They're really not feeling SoFaygo's performance, the Nav fans. Although this probably happens with a lot of opening acts, opening rappers. Similar to, like, even when Playboi Carti went on tour for King Vamp or Narcissist, Rico Nasty is a pretty big artist, but like, it's hard to open such a large act. Although with Nav, like, I don't know, man. Who's starting a mosh pit for Nav? Like, oh, it starts like fights and whatnot. That Nav, there's no songs that would make you need to jump up and down for Nav. He's more like a chill. Look, I'm not trying to diss Nav here. Nav got some bangers, but you know what I'm saying. It's like more chill, vibey music, if you will. Now, it's not SoFaygo's fans in the crowd, but I'm just saying it's almost better, because what I'm saying is it's not necessarily a bad look, but it is perceivingly to, like, on social media, it's a better look if you went on your own tour as a smaller artist in smaller venues, say like 100 to even 1,000 people, instead of like arenas or whatever this is held in, and just have like underground shows where you're getting intimate, pause, with your fans, and they get to see you up close. Everybody's sweaty and hot and in a mosh pit, like jumping up and down, because SoFaygo got hype music, and it just creates a better experience, and like the show could get sold out and all that. Like, it's just a better marketing plan to do it by yourself, kind of like Yeet, which we're going to talk about in a second. But again, with Nav, like, you're setting yourself up for failure. Now, what I heard was like they're trying to get in with Nav and like the EXO camp, and like once you get cool with Nav, like you get cool with Future, and like Nav is cool with basically everybody. You see his albums, the feature list is literally the whole industry. But at the same time, he's signed to Travis Scott. So like, who do you need to get connected with? You already are signed to the top 5 biggest rappers currently. Just don't make sense. So I don't know if it's the best look, but hey, it's going on toward Nav. Oh, one last point. It almost makes it look like he is an upcoming rapper, whereas I feel like SoFaygo, again, like the comparisons to Yeet are always going to come back. He is, at least his brand is like superstar, right? He's got that persona. He's not really an underground rapper anymore. So like, when you're going to these tours and again, you see the people not jumping around, it just kind of detracts from that. So again, it's just a net negative, if you ask me. Like, it makes it look worse than if you just didn't go on tour at all. But anyway, check this out.
Let's go!
Like, low key, that gotta hurt for SoFaygo, man. Because again, he's like, or at one point, he was the top upcoming rapper. And now, like, he's going on tour with Nav, and like literally nobody was jumping. Whereas if he went on tour, and it was the pandemic, so it wasn't really his fault. But like 2021, if he were have gone on tour with like Travis Scott, it would be, his career would be like, he'd be like Bitcoin right now. Actually, Bitcoin crashed. It's going up right now, but it crashed. But you get the point. What a coincidence that SoFaygo and Bitcoin's price right now are at a similar trajectory. Yeah, he dropped the album at the worst time. Like, he should have just done it when it was all hype. But we already talked about that. I don't know, man. I want to see a comeback. And I know he's dropping an EP that's going to have like more hype music rather than the R&B stuff that was on Pink Hearts. But I just don't know if the fans are going to like take it, like if they're going to care. I just don't think that people care anymore about anything he does. Like they're all for the Yeet movement. Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely about to pass him. I think Lone might have already passed him, especially with If Looks Could Kill. I think let me see the real. If Looks Could Kill is on like bubbling Hot 100 or something. Look at this. I didn't see SoFaygo songs doing that. Actually, he might have charted. I'm not sure with Knock Knock, but that was with the Lyrical Lemonade music video. This is all organic, basically. If Looks Could Kill with Destroy Lonely. So if you're doing everything organically, it's way more impressive. If you ask me, did this song grow on me? I still like the remaster, bro. There's like way more. There's way more energy into it. It just feels kind of dead. But it's not that I don't like the song. I do. Like, it's in my library on Spotify. It's just, I just don't get all the hype behind the song. Like, this feels like a deep cut in an album. It doesn't feel like a single. You know? Like, usually singles, they are more hype because, I don't know, like it's a performance song, whatever. I just like No Stylist or something. This just doesn't feel like that at all. It's more of a smoke. It's like a Lucky type song. It's blowing up on TikTok. It been blown up, bro. What are you talking about? It's blowing up currently. Nah, it's probably dying out at this point. Although if it's bubbling Hot 100, that means in the next couple of weeks it could be on Hot 100. And I feel like that's way more of a feat than the Hot Billboard 200, which is for albums, because rappers, they get higher first week sales than other genres, as we've discussed, just because the fan bases are a lot more, like dedicated. So they'll listen to album, whereas pop, like they really live off of singles. They don't really care about albums as much, unless it's like BTS or like Justin Bieber, but there's not very many of those.